Alright, guys, let's review some stores. It's been a while since I actually, reviewed, like, any stores. And, I did review a restaurant, which was Ruby, Tuesdays, and all that. Now I have, like, Claire's. I had to actually check to make sure I didn't review Claire's already. Because I could have sworn I thought I did that, but I didn't. Same with Ruby Tuesday. Although Ruby Tuesday, I thought I did around Thanksgiving or something. Because actually, that's when I was originally going to do the review. Was from Thanksgiving, but I decided, I'm like, you know what? I'd rather just do it now. I mean, it has a buffet in it, and they are open on Thanksgiving, but I think I'm going to save a Thanksgiving review for something else special down the road. I don't know if I did that one or not, because I might have to re-upload it if I did, but I didn't see the video or anything. But I did like have that problem with the Bee Movie that I didn't upload the video, so I'm gonna have to like upload that on the channel and all at some point. But yeah, there's been some videos kind of getting hit or messed up, so I don't know if I reviewed Ruby Tuesday or not. Claire's, on the other hand, I don't think I've ever reviewed this store because, I've only been in there like a few times to buy stuff. Because, I only got certain money, certain, kinds of money every month, certain amounts of money, so, I couldn't really just be buying stuff at random stores and restaurants. But I did, buy some stuff and all that, so I figured since, I've been in the store and all that, I figured it is time to review the store, finally. If you guys haven't already, though, please remember to subscribe to my channels, my channel for more reviews and all that. I've been noticing my channel has been kind of losing some subscribers. I don't know if people are unsubscribing or if YouTube's been doing that, because I have been hearing reports on that. So, there is that. But I've been lacking on videos and stuff, but I actually am going to make an update on that, because, I do have some things to say about that, but I'll probably do that, at some point in time. I may do it after this video. I don't know. We'll have to see. But, I'm having some technical problems, I should say, with, uploading some stuff. But, yeah, I am trying to get back into doing that stuff. So, yeah, but I am trying to get to 1K subs. So if you guys haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and all that. I would really appreciate that. And that's pretty much all I have to say for this, review. So we're gonna go, my introduction for the review. So, now we're gonna go ahead and actually do the review. So, Claire's, now Claire's, you guys might know, it's actually a very popular store chain. They've actually been around for a while. As you guys see up there, 1961 is when that's how long they've been around. I did not find the exact month or date. I've been actually having problems with that lately. I don't know what's going on there. Like, come on, Google, I thought you were supposed to know everything. You clearly don't know everything. I don't know, I probably could have done some digging and all that, but you gotta be careful with that stuff, because sometimes it can give you different dates and stuff, too. I've had that happen with my SpongeBob reviews, which I am actually going to be doing more of those here pretty soon, too. But I was actually going to work on it, but then I decided to pass, because the internet's kind of been messing up. So having to, like, look up the titles and stuff like that. It's going to be kind of a pain. And I do have another show that I'm going to be reviewing too. So, yeah, there's that. But yeah, that's kind of why I just put 1961 there. But yeah, this store has been around for a long time. Now, funny enough, this store was actually in Walmart's too. Not every Walmart had one. Actually, quite a few of them I've been to did not have the store in there. Hell, Walmart really doesn't have anything anymore. Like, they used to have a McDonald's, they used to have a little arcade and all that. Like, they really don't have a lot of anything anymore in their stores and all that. They kind of really falling downhill and all that, with that kind of stuff. But I mean, they did bring back the smiley face jackets, so there's that. But yeah, they really don't have a lot in their stores anymore, and it kind of stinks. But I mean, I probably wouldn't want a McDonald's in their store anymore because I don't really like McDonald's anymore. But I'm just saying they could have like a Burger King or something else in there. I mean, some of them have Subways, but a lot of them have closed in Walmarts too. So, but yeah, I don't know. But yeah, some Walmarts did have Claire's in them. So there was that, but yeah, unfortunately, Claire's did file bankruptcy, and I think it was Chapter 11 bankruptcy. And good news, they got out of bankruptcy, so they survived. Unfortunately, though, they still closed down a lot of stores and all that, and yeah, they closed down a lot of stores and, all that kind of jazz, and it kind of sucks, but, that's kind of how it happened and all that, but they did come out. Somebody else bought them out, and then they came out, a bankruptcy, but I'm pretty sure, having stuff, getting shipped overseas is probably not helping, though. Because I've been noticing a lot of that happening, because we did have COVID and all that, and not gonna lie to you guys, if you guys haven't been in America, you guys probably haven't had problems if you guys live in, like, Europe or something, but, like, in America, when COVID was hitting, we had to get stuff overseas, and, because, we have these planes and stuff, but because of, we get stuff from, like, China and all that, it has to come over to the U.S. So when that all happened, it really hurt these companies. Now, I don't want to use COVID as an excuse for everything, but, yeah, I think that probably is not a good thing to have most of your stuff going over there, because that's what Claire's was. Most of their stuff came overseas, So, yeah. But, yeah, so you guys know a little bit of kind of their back, their, like, the behind-the-scenes stuff and all that. I don't know them, their history as well as others, but I do know they've been around for a long time, Also, interesting fact about them, apparently you get your ears pierced at Claire's, too. So, yeah, I wouldn't want my ears pierced, but, I'm just saying you can get your ears pierced if you want to at Claire's. I'm surprised they let you do that, because, they do, though. It's pretty crazy, but, yeah, my little sister got her ears pierced and all that there and all that. They were getting ready to, I think, close it down and all that, and then she got it pierced. She had to wait in line. Honestly, taking her to places can be a little bit of a pain, but, unfortunately, that's kind of how it is, but, but, but yeah, I actually, did get video footage of this location before they closed it down, too. But another thing I will say about this image here is this is not the one from Jeff. I don't know where this one's at. The one in Jeff was actually in an old GameStop. that's where that one was at in Jeff. I tried to get, I was trying to take a, I was trying to find a picture online, but they didn't have a lot of pictures, so there is that. Now, compared to Toys R Us, there wasn't really that many pictures there. Oh yeah, I found a hell of a bunch of Toys R Us pictures. I did. I was looking online and found that, because I do that stuff too for you guys. Like, I go online and I look for some photos of some places, and so I keep the memories alive a little bit. Plus, I can show my reactions too, So, there's that. Um, but, um, but yeah, I'm trying to think, what else was I, oh yeah, I was gonna say too, I gotta say, I like the colors in Claire's too. I like the pink and the purple. Not gonna lie, I think they look really nice. It makes the store kind of stand out a bit. A lot of stores anymore, like Walmart and Target and all them, they just don't stand out much anymore. I think it's because the colors. They don't have their own colors anymore. I mean, Target's got their own merchandise and all that. I think they kind of got a little bit more going for them than Walmart, but they're kind of just barely at this point. Like, they kind of have the same problem Walmart does, where they don't have a lot of color in their stores anymore and all that. They don't feel like they stand out, I mean, they do have their little mascot dog and all that, but they also don't really have DVDs, so Walmart has DVDs still, so there's that. But, that's kind of what I like about Claire's, though, When you walk by a Claire's, you can tell it's a Claire's, I'm actually, now that I think about it, actually a lot of pop-up stores, in the mall do tend to have this feature still. So, I mean, I guess was kind of mistaken there. But even stores like Sam Goody and all that, had that too. Yeah, Sam Goody is another one of those stores, that was a thing. Unfortunately, they pretty much closed all of them. Now, there's like one store left, one left. I think they're still, I think they said they were going to stick around, but that's like all the way, I think, in Oregon, so there's that. But they kind of have a similar thing going by where they kind of stand out a little bit. And that's kind of how Claire's is. I said, like, Claire's and all that, Claire's and Spencer's and all that, they kind of have things to stand out a little bit more than the other stores. But yeah, I don't know. But yeah, okay. But I was gonna say, yeah, the vibe looks pretty nice and all that. I do like the vibe. The pricing, though, is probably where I think it kind of hurts the store a little bit for me. Yeah, I told you guys that they get a lot of their products overseas. They actually get a good chunk of them overseas. So their products tend to be a little bit more pricey than other places. However, they do sometimes offer deals, so you can get some deals and stuff, but they are a little bit more pricey. So, yeah, I mean, I know because I was buying stuff there and all that, and some of the products I could find other places a little bit cheaper, but I mean, they weren't like terribly bad, like they weren't terribly bad, but they weren't like great either. Like, like I said, they would offer deals and stuff like that, but they could be a little bit pricey, but you could still find some deals and stuff there and all that. But yeah, sadly though, the one where we were at closed, and also the one in Columbia closed. There was one like I think it was a Kansas City mall or something like that. I don't remember. It's still open. They actually said it was gonna stay open. So they actually, kept it open, but a lot of them where we're at are closed. So I don't know what the closest one would be, if that would be the case. But it's not like in Kansas City, but it's pretty close. It's like close. I think it's called what was the mall called? I can't remember. It wasn't the Battlefield Mall or whatever that was called. That was in Springfield. This was called something else. Shoot, I do not remember. But it was a pretty nice mall though. It was pretty big. A lot of empty stores, but a lot of them have closed down, so it kind of makes sense. But there were still a lot in there, and they were one of them. But yeah, yeah, that's pretty much, I think, all I can think of with that, though. Um, I don't know if there's really much else. Like, I think that's about really all I can want to say. I think I'm gonna go ahead and give it a score, though. So we're gonna give it a good, and then we're gonna be giving it a. Yep, giving it 83 points. Yep, 83 points. Yeah, the reason why I'm giving it this low of a score, is because I think it's still a really good store. And, it does suck that they're struggling. But I can say the pricing can be a little bit pricey at times. And, I do feel like they're kind of small. Like, there's not really a whole lot in there. And people are probably not gonna agree with my scoring on this, but I think, pricing is a pretty big thing when it comes to stores and all that. I don't know. I'm thinking maybe 83 could have been a little low. Maybe I could have done 90 or something. I don't know. But that's the thing, though. Like I've said, a lot of stuff's a little bit more pricey and stuff too. But for the most part, though, the store really wasn't that bad. And like I said, they offered deals. They had good deals and stuff too. But yeah, sadly, they closed it down and all that. It's one of those stores where I would definitely like to go back to it. But I would like to have, good deals too. I like to have good deals. And all that. I like to go there when it has some deals. But that's the thing though. They're not that bad at stores and all that. Like I said, they have very good colors. Their store layout's nice. It's a little small. And you could say too, well, it's on a mall. Of course, it's gonna be small. But I feel like I've only been able to find these places in there, and a lot of the times malls can have pretty big stores too. Like Joann Fabrics, I've seen them pretty big too. They feel like they're kind of like the size of like GameStops. Like they're really tiny. Like there's not really a lot to like, buy in them, like, well, they have stuff you can buy in there, but you know what I mean? Like there's not like a ton of stuff because the stores are so small. So it could be a little cramped too. But I don't think it's a bad store. I think it's a pretty good one, but I'm sure I'll probably get some hate on and all that, in the comments or something because of my scoring, but this is my review. And I cannot believe, too, this is like the first original store review I've done in such a long time. I think I did one with like Dollar General. I did a re-review on that. But that was like a re-review. That wasn't a new store. That was a re-review. And I think I did that like back in like August, I think. I don't know. It took me a while to like upload the video because I had a lot of stuff going on. But that just shows you again like how long it's been since I've actually done these. But I'm happy to get back to them again. And I will continue making more. I don't know if they'll be every month or not because I have a lot of stuff going on. Because I was doing them like monthly, but I am going to try to get back into doing more of these reviews. But that's pretty much all I think I have to say though. But I hope you guys enjoyed the review. And I'm going to try to get some stuff figured out with technology stuff, but there's only so much I'll be able to do there. But I am going to make a video about it, because I was thinking about just making a, an update on, just on the comments, because I did that, but I'm like, I kind of have some stuff to kind of say, and I feel like putting it in the comments would be a little, not as much, and the videos I'm uploading, YouTube doesn't seem to be advertising as well, so, I don't know. But I'm gonna go ahead and let the video go, and I'll see you guys all next time. Bye-bye.